Hi, everybody. Wanted to go through some offensive team play concepts in this video, starting here with some shooting idea and the idea of expected goals. I saw a presentation from Matt Sells, the assistant GM with Minnesota, and the main point that he was trying to make in his presentation was about expected goals, that if a goalie can see a puck and they're square to it, they'll stop it. And this idea of C plus square equals save. So I think one of the things that's interesting in his presentation was that only about 5% of the shots that NHL players take from the slot go in against a clear-sighted goalie, which is a much lower percentage than I would have thought. I thought it would be, somewhere between 25 and 35%. So I think this really drives home the point that when you have opportunities to shoot it, you need to take them, and the idea of looking at smart shots. And so I want to talk about the most ideal chances to score. So in expected goals, the analytic statistic, high danger shot types are ones that are above 20%. They're the screenshots from the slot, deflections with screens, breakaways, odd player rushes, and slot line plays. Shots that are taken within 1 second when a puck is moved across that midline, the Royal Road, to the other, have a much higher chance of going in than when we dust it off. So low slot line pass, so from a pass from X1 here to X2, so going from high in the zone to lower in the zone. Those are about 1 in 3 chance to score, 34%. If you shoot it within 1 second of it crossing that line. So one time quick release. So those are the highest possible chance to score are those types of looks. We want to create a lot of those. If it's a pass from lower in the zone to higher in the zone, it's about 20%. So 1 out of 5 of these types of shots from X1 to X2 will go in the net. I'll show you some video examples in a second here. Medium danger or mid danger shot types are shots that go in between 9 and 19% of the time. So between 1 and 5 and 1 and 10 times that you shoot the puck. So these are one-timers from the same side of the ice, screens, deflections, and clear-sighted shots with time and space. Low danger shots are ones that are less than 8%. So these are clear-sighted shots from the perimeter, which is about less than 1%, means you need to shoot 100 of these shots for one to go in. Usually that's the goalie making a mistake. That clear-sighted shots from outside the slot, which is about 2%, so 50 shots to score one, and clear-sighted shots from the slot, which is less than 5%. So if we look at it on a heat map, this is what it would look like. So the 6 feet from the wall in is about 1%. The next 6 feet is about 2%. The slot area is about 5%. Low slot, so below the hash marks, is about 8%. But in general, it gives you an example that we want to have passes with shots off the pass to have a higher shooting percentage. And so when we look at the video, we'll see some examples, good and bad. It's not necessarily about the volume of shots that we get. It's about generating a volume of high danger chances. Excuse me. And so if you can shoot to score, definitely shoot in those scoring situations. Take advantage of them. They don't come around that often in the game. If you can't shoot to score clearly, then you should shoot to create in clear-sighted situations. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And I'm going to switch screens and show you some video examples to illustrate the points that we were just talking about. So if I switch back to my controls and I share my screen with you. So you should be able to see the image on the screen right now. And so here, these are examples of low danger shots. And in this case here, you see a player. That player has less than a 1% chance of scoring. Is this a quality shot? The argument here is that it actually helps the goalie get into the game. Here's a really good player, Kendall Coyne Schofield, taking a 1% shot. And all she's doing here is allowing Anne-Renee Bien and Renee Debian to get a feel for the puck. Even the best player in the world, she's maybe a 2% chance because she's a little bit closer in. And she has maybe a higher than 2% because she's the best player in the world, but really didn't threaten Frankel very much. And so in those cases, better to maybe delay and wait for support or work your way into a better position would generate more offense than just letting the goalie feel the puck. And so that's a bit of a shift in mindset. So here, this is PWHL game. It's a 3-versus-1. Emily Clark is picking up the puck. As she gets it here, if she makes the pass to that player who's coming late, that dot driver who's starting to widen out across that pink midline, the Royal Road, that's about a 1 in 5 chance to go in. So 20%. The goalie has to move to make a save. So this is a good opportunity to score. She has not looked right now to that player who is probably the best possible chance. So probably more 2% from where she is right now. But this is a clear-sighted shot. The goalie can see it the whole way through. And so here, she would have been better to shoot to create. Instead, she shoots for high glove and really generated nothing. It seems like a good chance, but I wouldn't grade that as a very high chance. There's no threat to score in front of the net. There was a much better opportunity. And so the key there was I think she should have looked and should have made the pass. Here's another example of a 3-on-2. The back checker is doing a good job here. So about a 1%, 2% chance to score from here. So if you can't, look for a pass like the player does there, or look to shoot it in the goalie's feet. Another example here, this is a 2-on-2. The player who's going to shoot the puck here is, 1 to 2% chance. If she shoots it into the goalie's feet, much better chance. She takes a high shot to the glove, generates nothing, no real threat. Here's the difference. In this case, we can see that number 6 on Wisconsin has a clear-sighted shot. It's a 3-versus-4. She could shoot to score here, but there's not a lot of net for her to shoot at. So she's going to actually take a smart shot into the 5 hole. If it goes through, great. If not, it's going to leave a rebound. This is the game-winning and championship-winning goal. So if you can't shoot to score, shoot to create. This creates a great rebound that F3 picks up. Not a fantastic shot, just towards the net, and that won the championship because of a smart shot. So looking at some other examples, these are medium danger shots. So from the same side of the ice here, shooting it on the one time. This player, Gosling doesn't score, but the shot creates a great rebound, and Serdachny is able to score off that rebound. Again, same different look, same side of the ice. If she shoots it from there, it's a 1% chance. When she makes the pass, it becomes a 20%, 19% chance. Much tougher save for the goalie because she shoots it off the pass. And so that's a medium danger shot, which is because it's from the same side of the ice. Another medium danger, same side of the ice, pass out into the slot. And shooting it right off the pass gives you a much higher percentage to score. And so that's a skill that we can work on. Same thing here, pass out from the same side of the ice into home plate. Here, Sarah Nurse grabs the puck, catches and releases it all in one motion. So again, shooting it in under a second. Another look at it. And so I think here you can just see like the stick preparation, honor stick, offer stick to the far post. These are high danger shots now, so 20% or higher. This is a 20% shot chance because it's through a screen. So here you can see Frankel doesn't pick this puck up until it's actually at her hands and it goes by her. So that's all created because of good net presence. Another example here. So I think Stacey could get better net presence here for Canada, but Finland helps them here. This is on a power play, but same things apply. When you have net presence, you have a higher opportunity to score. Here's another example. This is 5-on-5. You can see the amount of traffic in front of the net. Makes it really difficult for the goalie to find that puck. And that's a seeing eye shot. Low 2/3 of the net, lower third of the net with net presence. Here's a 3-versus-4. The player works hard to get into home plate. It's a 2% chance to score if she just throws this at the net here, maybe a little bit lower if it's on her backhand. Instead, she knows she has a player coming late. And so she's going to make that pass across the Royal Road. And the player gets a little bit of a screen from the defender and shoots it on the one time. And so now that is a 20% plus chance to score because of good decision making. from the initial puck carrier and good execution. Now, these are high danger shots, so these are 20 percenters, kind of from low in the zone to a little bit higher in the zone, but they're great chances to score because they're one timed. Again, that's NCAA national championship game. Here you see it, no time, just a quick shot, and really good shot. This one upstairs, but shooting it off the pass makes it a really tough save for the goalie. Similar play here at the World Championships, Canada versus Finland. So the player with the puck right now, if she shoots it, 2% chance to score. She could shoot to create, which isn't a bad decision, but she's got Poulin there. And so this pass is between 20 and 30%. You're going to see another angle on it right now. Again, tight angle, not really a good look. It's a dead angle shot. The pass is a much better option, or a shot to create. Here, the pass to a player with their forehand in and shooting it right off the pass generates a great goal. And then these are passes from a little higher to lower. So these are like backdoor plays, which are like 35% chances. So here, these are almost impossible for goalies to stop. And then one thing I want to show a couple of examples of great shootout goal, because a lot of times when we get breakaways in games, or if we ever get into a shootout, we tend to go straight down the middle of the ice and don't leave the crease width. Here you can see Sims. Again, this is to tie the game with about 36 seconds to play or thereabouts. And notice she's taken her skating track, has already taken her outside the dot line, and it seems quite wide, but that means the goalie has to move quite a bit. And there's some really good puck movement and hands there, but that all gets created because she's outside and she's taking the goalie from post to post. If she was going faster, she could just take the ice. She's doing a little bit of a fake to the backhand, back to the forehand. But again, it's getting outside the width of the net. And if you're on a breakaway in a game and you get a look like that, it's even starting at one post and then attacking the other post, taking it across the width gives you a greater advantage over a goalie than just shooting it from one angle. So hopefully that's beneficial. It'll allow you to think about our shooting tactics a little bit more as we go into the season and why we're working on the things we're working on. Thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, ask a coach.